Hey guys, today I wanted to talk quick about. I think it's a little bit late, but anyways, I wanted to do it. A tier list for the tanks. Healers will follow tomorrow, so stay tuned. Tier list for the tanks. The tank tier list is pretty easy, to be honest. We don't have here a lot of difference. Yeah, there is a difference, especially when we talk about consistency all over the phases. We talk specific for phase 1 today. So but no, nothing big will change during the phases. So all of the tanks are playable. That's for first the good news about it. So it's not like maybe in some maybe on DPS, maybe there are really some specs that I would say they are not playable. Maybe even I would say there are classes right now, for example DPS warrior, but warrior in phase 1 is pretty bad. It scales awesome into the late game. We don't have like something like this for the tanks, so every tank is playable. If you have one favorite class that it's definitely your favorite class or spec, then stay with it. All the content is clearable with every tank. When it's coming to speed running, when it's coming to you want to maybe clear it on day one. Day one also means like you have the worst gear. Later on, always later on in the phases, you have better gear, but day one, when the phase is coming out or a new raid is coming out, you have the worst gear because you don't have any gear from that raid by itself, or maybe you don't have all the best gear that you could get to this moment because this period of time is very short. For example, next week coming the raids is coming the raid. You only have like 1 week to gear yourself, and that's pretty hard to get all your best gear. So that's what I mean, worst possible gear. I show you the list directly here. I think you already saw it when I had it open. So let's talk about it here. Only 3 tiers, so because they're all kind of similar, but anyways, I wanted to show you a little bit of a gap between them. At the moment, I see the protection. To be honest, I think I see protection power. Let us make it like this. So also in the B tier, I want to have a little bit of a difference that I show you here. But not the biggest one, but a little bit of a difference that I rank the Feral higher than the Protection Warrior. Protection Warrior, hard to play. That means like a high skill cap if you want to utilize the class or the spec to perfect. If you bring it to perfection, then it is very close to Protection Paladin and also Blood DK, but you have to put much more effort than maybe a person could give if he plays Protection Paladin or Blood DK, and they do kind of the same. You're lacking a little bit of defensive at the end, and you also, the lack of AoE damage. So AoE aggro is definitely one of the not so good things about Protection Warrior. But if you're a Warrior player, if you just want to go for it, go for it. It's definitely possible to clear every content with the Protection Paladin. Next one is the Feral Druid. Many people think, and I guess that's true, that at the end of the day, Feral Druid will have the highest damage output. What is also very nice, it can be a very good off tank. Feral Druid, you maybe skill not completely tank, you just skill like off tank. You will do a lot of damage and still being able to tank on bosses where it needs two tanks or maybe even 3. That makes them so awesome also for the raid. So usually every raid will have 1 or 2 of them because the flexibility, that's just awesome. And like I already said, they make a lot of damage. The damage taken is, they lack a little bit of avoidance, so they are not best defensively, especially early, so in phase 1, but later on again they will scale very well. They have also good AoE, so all over the place, good choice, it's nice to play. and you have the flexibility. I mean, okay, everybody has the flexibility because of dual spec, but with this one, you know, don't need to go for dual spec. You have just this off-tank spec that is possible. Then let's go to the WotLK. There are also some people that rank WotLK as S tier. I want to keep it in A tier. Why? Yes, we talked today about phase 1, okay, but I also want to give a little bit like an overall perspective. And on the overall perspective, there's kind of no doubt that Paladin is the best tank through all Wrath of the Lich King. WotLK is always very, very close, but not this on the same level than Paladin. Yeah, so what is the benefit of them? Or let me say first, maybe the bad thing, they have no shield. So that means you're definitely lacking of the same, like the shield block that the protection Paladin has. But what is just awesome, you know, death grip is awesome, the damage, the raw damage output is awesome, the aggro that they produce is just awesome. So yeah, they are extremely useful, they're extremely strong, make a lot of damage, make a lot of aggro. Overall, just very nice, you know, they are wearing played like the other ones, so they're directly very tanky at the start of expansion. So in the first phase they are very, very close, Paladin and DK, because I think WotLK is much more easy to play. I would maybe even recommend a beginner or a person who is not just beginning to tank, not a beginner in WoW by itself, but beginning to tank. I would recommend WotLK. WotLK is more easy to play. The gap between Paladin and WotLK is so small, and WotLK also, in my opinion, more easy to play than Feral Druid with all the shapeshifting that you maybe have to do, and also more easy to play than Protection Paladin. So it's the most easiest to play, and it's so close to first place that if you want a recommendation, WotLK. If you don't have a WotLK right now, you know, WotLK is starting with a higher level, so it's still a very good chance to get it up if you don't have it already. And if you're struggling with the choice, go for WotLK. Let's come to Paladin. Paladin, through all over Wrath of the Lich King, best tank. Overall, an awesome class with awesome specs through all the expansion. To be honest, I think Wrath is Paladin time, definitely. They are, like I said already, through everything's just awesome. They are tank. In that case, when we talk about tank Paladin, they are tanky. They have good damage. They have good aggro. They have awesome utility. What they can provide through to everything. You know, all the buffs, lay on hands, AOE threat, and they have everything. Maybe if we talk about now every single aspect, Paladin is maybe not in one aspect first place, but he's in every aspect that is mattering on tanking second place minimum. On maybe it's one or two that is first place. I don't want to go too deep, but besides that, like I said, minimum everywhere second place, and that makes him overall the best tank in the game. It's, I don't want to say it's hard to play, but it's a little bit close to the other tanks. What that means, it's like to be playing it perfectly, you need to utilize everything what the Paladin is giving you, and he gives you a lot of different things what you can do. Death CDs, group buffs, here something, there something. So playing a Paladin on perfect level is hard. Is it necessary that you're playing on a perfect level to tank with a Paladin the normal dungeons, the normal raids, heroics, whatever? No, it's not. Like, you know, in WoW Classic, it's not mattering that you play a class perfectly, besides you wanna clear the raid maybe in the first night it's coming out, maybe not even then is needing to play perfectly, or you go for crazy speed runs. Then for sure you need some extra tricks, some extra knowledge that maybe other players don't have, but for clearing the content, again, all of the tanks are fine, so that means stick with the one that you want to play the most, because tanking is, you always say, the people say always bring the player, not the class, but in tanking it's 100% accurate. Bring the player, not the class. It's all about the player, his experience, his knowledge about the raid group, how to tank, how to move things around or whatever. That's the most important thing. So guys, I want to keep it short, 10 minutes, that's it. Go for whatever you want. Best is Paladin through all the thing. My personal recommendation is WotLK, Feral Druid, nice off spec, off tank spec, and warriors. You know, if you're a warrior player, I think that's a little bit like if you're a warrior player, you're a warrior player. That's it. All right, guys. Have a nice day. Have a nice week. See you in game. Bye bye.